hello travelers. I am the online guide, tourist guide, and my name is Navin Hersyavan Aditya. And I am in the northern side of Surabaya, also known as Surabaya Old Town or Denasya for the specifically trading Surabaya Center. So I'm here for explaining you how its historical past it is, with the atmosphere, and how the local local resident play and around to keep the atmosphere on. And that's it. Let's enjoy our journey.
And that's right, we are kicking things off in the northern side of the city. The old trading center, this area was once the absolute economic beating heart of East Java during the colonial era. Just look at these massive European-style structures. This area is the European zone, centered around the historic Williams Plain. Today, it's a vibrant public space, but a century ago, this was the Wall Street of the Dutch East Indies, positioned strategically right next to the Kalimas River trade artery. These buildings housed global financial giants. In fact, during the late 19th century global sugar boom, this exact zone controlled so much wealth that Surabaya actually outpaced Batavia as the largest and richest port city in the entire colony. Okay, so since we are moving fast here, let me give you the quick history lesson. Surabaya's story actually starts way back in the 14th century as a riverside trading post. It survived conquest by the Mataram kingdom in the 17th century, before being handed over to the Dutch in the 18th century. By the 19th and 20th centuries, it grew into a powerhouse of global trade and the epicenter of Indonesia's fight for independence. Speaking of independence, check this out. This rusted car, shell in Taman Sejarah, marks a massive turning point in world history. This is a replica of British Brigadier General Malabiscar. His death right here in October 1945 triggered the ferocious Battle of Surabaya on November 10, a day Indonesia now honors every year as National Heroes Day. Walking down these streets truly feels like exploring an open-air museum. You get this amazing contrast of classic century-old architecture surrounded by the lively buzz of modern Indonesia traffic, motorbikes, trucks, and traditional becaks. Now we are entering one of the crown jewels of the old town, the Java Bank. Built in a majestic neo-Renaissance style, this grand building served as the central bank of the issue during Dutch rule. Today, Bank Indonesia has beautifully preserved it as an educational museum. Let's register at the front desk, step past these archival certificates, and unlock the heavy history waiting for us right inside the main vault. First, look at this tiny vintage room. With its grand partitions, it looks exactly like an old-school luxury hotel reception, but this was actually the main cashier counter where massive fortunes were traded. And check this out, this incredible machine is an authentic early cash printing press. This is literally where the historic money was minted. Right next to it, you can see the actual cash used back then, spanning from the ancient kingdoms and the Dutch VOC era, all the way through the Japanese occupation and the birth of Indonesia's very own currency, the ORI. Row after row of genuine historic banknotes. Standing here, you can really feel the weight of the history that passed through this very display. Now step into the old interbank clearing room. These automated clearing machines from 1992 were the absolute backbone of East Java's regional economy, manually processing and settling physical bank checks and zero slips long before the digital internet age. Even the waiting long is pure class. Notice the iron-gated tailor boots. That was a premier security innovation of its time. The tailor kits had to be fully locked from the inside before any transaction could even begin. Over here is the Wall of Governors, tracking a massive historical transitions in 1942. The Japanese military says this building, renaming it Nanbo Kaihatsu Ginko, but following the 1949 Roundtable Conference, Indonesia nationalized the entire system, officially transferring the Javasib Bank into Bank Indonesia on July 1st, 1953. Check this out. This architectural model, the building was redesigned in 1910, modified specifically to handle Indonesia's humid tropical climate. Right next to it are the jaw-dropping Centennial Ledger books from 1828 to 1928, which hand recorded the vast wealth of Surabaya's global sugar trade. Alright, let's step back out past the old Williams Plain Square. We are changing gears now and moving from colonial history to our next cultural zone. Welcome to Kia Kembang Jepun. This iconic dragon gate marks the entrance to Surabaya's legendary Chinatown, a bustling hub of trade and cultures of centuries. Look at the explosion of color on this building. These gorgeous murals perfectly blend traditional Chinese folklore with modern Surabaya street art. It's the ultimate backdrop for a group photo. With the red lanterns floating above and history all around us, Surabaya Old Town never ceases to amaze. Thanks for exploring with me. I'll see you on the next stop.